Hi, this is Brian Marcelan with NOLA World Entertainment and brianmarcelan.com with a tutorial in Adobe Photoshop understanding layers. And this tutorial is going to be good for pretty much all the Photoshops. This is the current CS4 one. One thing about layers is that you need to understand this no matter what you go into. I do Flash, I do Photoshop, I do video editing. You need to understand how layers work. It's not going to go away anytime soon. Anyway, so what I did was I opened up my Photoshop, and as you see, I did a blank transparent background, and I have that here. Alright, when you're looking at it, basically you have this right here on the right, which is, I believe, F7, or you can come up here to Windows and go to Layers right here, see how it's checked, and this little box will appear up. This is basically when you're looking down. I first have to explain this to you in order to understand what I'm talking about. But when you're looking down at something or a picture, you're looking at from this top right here. Imagine two eyeballs right here, and you're looking down, which means that this first top one is the first one that somebody's going to see. The one below that is underneath that, and the one underneath that is underneath there. So let me show you what I did. If you look at this layer, if you ever want something to disappear, what I did was I created 3 separate layers. I called them 1, layer 2, and layer 3. Okay. Now the thing about it is, this little thing that I'm clicking is the eyeball. If you ever don't want to see a layer, you want to remove it, you just click the eyeball. Alright. So once again, we're looking down, we'll see here's number 3. Number 3 is on top. Number 2 is directly below number 3. So therefore, when I click this and show number 2 is going to be behind number 3, as you see. And number 1 is here. Number 1's below 2 and 3, so when we see that, it's here. That's basically the easiest way for me to explain how layers are going to work. Now, when you're with Photoshop, the thing about it is you're going to have many layers. And what you want to do is you want to be able to do things to just that layer. So, let me show you this other thing real quick with layers. So see how there's 3, 2, 1? If we take 2 and we click and we move that above 3, you're going to see 2 is now above 3. 1, if I move 1 above 3, 1 is now in between 2 and 3, which is here. So I hope this is helping y'all out, not actually confusing you more. But now you see how this works. Thing about it is also is that Photoshop, when you have these layers, another thing that's really important about layers is, say I want to move this number 1. If you come up here to this selector tool, move tool right here, whatever number is highlighted, that's the one that's moving. So see how I have 2 highlighted? When I move, even though I click on this 1, that 2 is going to move. See? So if I want to move the 3, I go to 3, and I'm able to move the 3. And I'm sure you can understand why this would be very important, because, well, you might have a billion different elements inside of a picture, and you want to be able to move just that one thing that's out of a line, or you want to easily move it. The other thing about layers is that when you save them, you'll see that when you go to File, Save As, you want to make sure you save it as this PSD PDD file. Why, you ask? Because if you save it as a JPEG or a GIF or something like that, you're not going to be able to have these layers. Everything will only be one layer. So if we had 15 different things in here, 15 different layers inside this one project, when you open it as a JPEG, you're only going to see one layer. But if you save it as a PSD or a PDD file, you're able to go back and see all the layers that were into that. And basically you want to protect your PSD, PDD files, because if somebody gets a hold of that, they pretty much have your artwork and they can move and change whatever. So you want to keep a copy of that for yourself on your own computer. But I hope this helps y'all with layers. If you have any questions, shoot me an email at brian@nolaworldentertainment.com or go to brianmarsland.com. And this concludes my tutorial on understanding layers.